You love your dog, right? You feed them, walk them, give them cuddles, and you think everything's fine. But what if I told you your dog could be silently suffering, right under your nose? Right now. And the heartbreaking truth is, most owners miss the signs. Not because they don't care, but because the signs are so subtle, so quiet, so easy to overlook. This isn't about being a bad owner. It's about seeing what's hidden in plain sight. Because if your dog is crying for help and you don't hear it, the damage can last a lifetime. Most people think that if a dog isn't limping or whining, they're okay. But dogs don't always show pain the way humans do. In fact, they're wired to hide weakness. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden language of dogs, the small changes, the tiny behaviors, that are actually desperate calls for help. Stick with me till the end, because the seventh sign is something even experienced dog owners miss, and it could be the key to saving your dog's emotional well-being. Let's start with the first subtle cry for help: excessive licking. And no, I don't mean licking you affectionately. I'm talking about the kind of licking where your dog is obsessively licking their paws, their legs, or even the air. This isn't grooming. It's stress relief. When dogs feel anxious, bored, or in emotional pain, they often resort to repetitive licking as a way to self-soothe. It's like a nervous habit. So if your dog suddenly starts licking constantly, especially when they're alone, it's not just a quirk. It's a red flag. The second sign? Sudden changes in sleep patterns. A healthy, content dog has a fairly predictable rhythm. But if your dog is suddenly sleeping all the time, or barely sleeping at all, something deeper is going on. Oversleeping can be a sign of depression in dogs. Yes, dogs can get depressed. On the other hand, if your dog is pacing at night, restless, or unable to settle, that could signal pain, anxiety, or emotional distress. Sleep is where dogs reset. When that changes, don't brush it off. Now here's the third cry for help that most people completely overlook: avoiding eye contact. We tend to think a dog that won't look at us is just being shy or stubborn. But dogs are deeply emotional creatures. When they start avoiding your gaze, it's often a sign of guilt, fear, or emotional withdrawal. It means something is off. They're pulling away. They may feel misunderstood, punished, or simply overwhelmed by their environment. Eye contact is trust. When it fades, pay attention. Let's talk about the fourth sign, and this one hurts to say: a loss of interest in things they once loved. Does your dog used to light up when you grabbed the leash, and now they barely move? Did they used to bring you toys, tail wagging, ready to play, and now they just sit in the corner, staring blankly? That's not laziness. That's not getting older. That's a cry for help. A dog that loses interest in joy is a dog that is emotionally hurting. They're disengaging. They're shutting down. The fifth sign is one that tricks even the most loving owners: overreacting to small things. Sudden aggression. Flinching when touched. Barking at shadows. If your dog is reacting in ways that feel out of character, don't just chalk it up to bad behavior. These are often trauma responses. Your dog could be in pain, physically or emotionally, and their reactions are their only way of expressing it. Think of it like a panic attack. It's not about what's happening, it's about what they've been holding in. Number 6 is sneaky. Changes in eating habits. We all notice when our dog stops eating entirely, but what about when they just eat differently? Eating less, eating faster, guarding food more aggressively, or skipping meals occasionally. These are whispers, not screams. But together, they form a pattern. And that pattern can tell you that your dog is feeling unsafe, anxious, or emotionally dysregulated. Dogs don't just eat to survive. They eat when they feel secure. And now, the seventh sign, one that almost no one talks about, but it's one of the loudest cries for help in a dog's world: excessive attachment. I know what you're thinking, but my dog follows me everywhere because they love me. And yes, sometimes that's true. But when a dog clings to you like they can't breathe without you, panics when you leave the room, Shakes when you go outside, or waits at the door for hours. That's not love. That's separation anxiety. That's fear. That's a dog that doesn't feel safe in their own skin without you near. It's heartbreaking. And it's not something they can fix alone. So now that you've seen these signs, you might be asking yourself, what do I do? The first step is to stop blaming yourself. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Your dog doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to see them. They need you to notice. And then act. Talk to your vet. Work with a behaviorist. Change the routine. Add more engagement. Give them the support they can't ask for with words. Before you click away, I want you to do one thing. Take a moment today to watch your dog. Not just glance. Watch. Observe their eyes, their body language, their rhythm. Because somewhere in the silence, they might be crying for help, and today, you've learned how to finally hear them. If this opened your eyes, leave a comment below and tell me which sign hit home the hardest. Share this with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to subscribe, because your dog's emotional well-being deserves more than just food and walks. It deserves understanding.